Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play World Wave 3 with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and the Kaiserliche Marine. So, the date is 1919, January, and we have just finished our war with Great Britain, which led to an almost complete reset of the relations between the great powers. But funnily enough, our worst relations are still with Great Britain. Turns out that even though they were just right now, a month ago, at war with us, they still hate us. And the feeling is mutual. So, when you look at the relations, you can see that everything is pretty much okay for us. We have increased tensions with Great Britain, but with all of the other nations, we are doing very well. Worst relations being with Russia and Italy. Other than that, we have good or very friendly relations with everyone. On the other hand, Great Britain also has pretty bad relations with Austria-Hungary, and Austria-Hungary has pretty bad relations with Italy, and increased tensions with Russia. So there might be some conflict looming nearby, and as we are allied with Austria-Hungary, I wouldn't actually mind another war with Italy or Russia or even Great Britain, to be quite honest. I would actually... I feel that the war that we have just ended was ended unfairly. But again, who am I to criticize the leadership? They knew what they were doing, and we are here just as a part of the armed forces of our great German Empire. Still, even though that we had only a couple of months to fight this war, actually not even a whole year, I believe that we have performed very well. We have lost 1 heavy cruiser and 2 destroyers to the British forces, but they lost 3 battle cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 7 destroyers, and 2 corvettes. What I find actually kind of interesting is that when you look at the other wars, like for example the one with Russian Empire, it took nearly 3 years, and the casualties were very similar to what we have inflicted on Great Britain. So, the technology is moving forward, and with it our destructive potential. So it is, white peace is a white peace, but we have definitely hit them over the fingers, which in essence led to the fact that ours is now the biggest navy in the world for the very first time in this playthrough. Not by much, but it is. We have 452,200 tons. We lost 3,300 tons during this year, due to the war mostly. And Great Britain itself lost 36,500 tons, even though that they were building ships left and right. So they currently have 438,200 tons, being number 2. Then we have USA and France with 334,600 tons and 329,700 tons. Then Russia, Japan, and Italy are about 100,000 tons lower at 232,000, 226,000, and 211,000 respectively. And Austria-Hungary and Spain are at 160 and 121,000 tons. The total tonnage in the world is 2,516,800 tons. Difference year on year is minus 26,600 tons. Again, mostly because of the casualties of Great Britain, but also there were some scrappings happening on the side of Japan and Italy and Austria-Hungary. Though I'm not sure if they haven't lost any... No, they were not part of the war, so they couldn't have. Well, either way, this is what it looks like. I am just so happy that we intersected and actually took over the position of Great Britain. That is just so great. Tonnage comparison combined, we have been almost at the peak, but we went down a little. I believe that this year will bring us to the record, hopefully. And here is the relative tonnage comparison. So we have 17.96%, so almost 18% of the overall tonnage. The rest, all of them, have a smaller share, which is amazing. As far as economy and budget goes, though, we are not we're not even close to a good shape at this point. We have had an insane cut to our yearly budget. into the per month budget, of course, of more than 36%, which is fine, but our total expenses now are at 105.2%. We have only 4,426 Reichsmark at hand, which is a decrease year on year of 80.6%, and it's only 2% of our yearly budget. It's generally bad, and I don't really think that our situation when it comes to ships is good as well, because we have almost no construction, yet we still pay huge amounts for ship costs. So, a lot of things will have to happen in this episode as far as economy goes. We'll have to put ships in reserve, some put in mothballs. We'll have to make sure that, we restart the construction, because the construction is pretty much halted. We're just building the 3 destroyers, but the 2 new Valkyrie-class battlecruisers that we ordered are not even, being produced right now. So we're just paying maintenance on them being in the dock and just waiting to be continued on, basically. So it's not a good shape. It's not a good shape, and I'll have to spend this entire year putting us into a better place. I mean, of course it is because of the cut. If the cut wasn't there, we would be just having like 30%, maybe even more of our budget free. But due to the cut, it is what it is. We're also quite heavily below the trend line, but it has to happen, it's a trend line in the end. So sometimes you are above, sometimes you are below, and that's what the trend line signifies, where the average is, which is, much higher than we are right now. Ironically though, I'm gonna try to escalate relations with Russia, and I'm gonna try to pull them into a war, because that is probably our best bet on increasing our budget. So here is the drop in the budget. Again, you can see that after every war, so now we're just gonna start building up. We'll see how it's gonna continue. Research. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. We have had a pretty good year, not as much in the ways of technology advancements, but we have a completely new category, anti-aircraft artillery, which is something that we have been waiting for quite some time. And I'm actually surprised that we didn't have it, because I know that, for example, Great Britain, and I think even Italy had it. And I mean, the fact that someone else had it and we didn't is a little bit worrisome. Still, now we do, so we'll make it a high priority and see if we can gain some quick levels in it. And, of course, re-equip our ships if possible. What's also very important is that we got 2 levels in naval guns, most notably 14-inch guns, which we have on our main battlecruisers, can now be refitted to quality 1, which is something that we should consider during the peacetime. And we also gained quality 1 10-inch guns, which I believe could be used on some of our heavy cruisers. I'm not sure if we're using it on any ships. We can check it now that we're gonna go through our fleet overview. But, it's an advantage that we should make use of, because again, it is an advantage. Other than that, we've gained a level in shipboard aircraft operations, fleet tactics. Anti-submarine warfare actually gained 2, and we finally have the depth charge throwers, which is amazing. Torpedo technology, light forces and torpedoes, AP projectiles, ship design, and hull construction, armor development, and machine development all gained a level. And if I remember correctly, because it had been a couple of days since I last recorded, I think that we are very close to the catapult, so that would be great for our aircraft operations. But again, it means more refits, so that's not great. Either way, fleet overview. So we now have 128 aircrafts, 104 airships. We have 1 light carrier, 1 battleship. We have 6 battlecruisers, and we're building 2 more. We have only 10 heavy cruisers now, though, because we scrapped a number of them and one of them were sunk. We have 17 light cruisers, though, because we've built an entirely new class. We have 28 destroyers. We are building 3 more of the K1 class, which is a new one that we've designed. We have 14 corvettes, and we have 32 submarines. Here is the overview. So you can see that we had some casualties during the war, but it's nothing major. Okay, speaking of guns then, so the Deutsche Kaisers have 8-inch guns, you have 8-inch guns and 12-inch guns. Okay, so that's not going to help. Rhine also has 12-inch guns. Berwin-class battlecruisers, though, have 14-inch guns, which is what we can upgrade, though I expect this is going to be a very expensive one, so... I mean, we could upgrade, for example, just München and Leipzig and do an overall refit, but considering how new the ships are, I'm not entirely sure it's worth it. But the guns would be great, so we should think about it. I don't think we'll have money for it anyway, though. Here are the Valkyrie-class battlecruisers, which unfortunately have their guns downgraded to 12-inch guns, so they will not get any benefit from that. Hertha is being rebuilt. We've made a fairly excessive rebuild of it, so that one is also happening. It's 7-inch, 6-inch. You guys are using also 8-inch guns, 8-inch guns. Yeah, so we don't have 10-inch guns anywhere in the fleet, but it doesn't mean that we can't. It is just something that we should consider. So let's look at the K1 class here, which is our new destroyer. Now, while we previously had pretty good destroyers, and we've had quite an evolution, because again, I'm stressing this almost in every episode right now, but I'm completely into the blind territory. So I'm doing this based on my knowledge of ships, knowledge of naval warfare, and knowledge of what the game tells me, and I'm trying to learn from these battles. But what I very much like is that the K1 class now has a little bit of a different role. It is based on some of your comments, because we noticed that destroyers actually were very effective in the raids. We've used them quite a lot, and the K1 is incorporating this kind of logic. It's actually as big as the S1 was, but it is slightly faster, and it has 3 5-inch guns, 1 forward and 2 on aft. And it also has, instead of 3 double centerline torpedo tubes, it has 2 triple centerline torpedoes. Now, from my time playing World of Warships, I've always found that it is way more effective to have bigger clumps of torpedo tubes than to have more of them, because it is much easier, and we've even seen that in the game, to hit the enemy if you shoot a bigger volley of torpedoes rather than shooting several volleys of torpedoes. So the free torpedoes have a much bigger potential to kill, because for the enemy it is much harder to maneuver out of the kill zone. So this is something that I really want to stress, that this is a doctrinal change for us, and all new destroyers are going to have triple centerline torpedoes. Again, it also has more guns, and it is slightly faster. So this is basically a submarine and destroyer hunter. And submarine hunter, why? Because it is the first ship that actually has the depth charge throwers. I want to check what kind of rating they're going to have for hunting submarines, but eventually these ones should pretty much be a template for all of our future ships. I'm actually thinking the V1 could be also rebuilt to have the depth charge throwers. We have a lot of them, and then they could be relegated completely to the duty of hunting submarines, because I don't really want them anywhere near the battle line. But the K1 is a new and improved design, so I'm hoping that we will see it in the battle sometime soon. Again, I have written here that I would like to build 20 by 1925. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but if it's possible, then we should do it. And I guess that's all for the Navy. Now we can look at our land fortifications. So dockyard capacity is 33,000 tons. Okay, and I forgot to delete the plus 1,000. That is an last year news. We still have 33,000. But where we have made a significant advance is in the area of coastal batteries. We have built coastal batteries on roads, 2 10-inch coastal batteries, completely new, and 2 multiple squadrons. We've upgraded the defenses on the Liaotung Peninsula. We have now 2 10-inch coastal batteries there as well, as we have the 1 8-inch coastal battery that was there previously, and 2 motorboat squadrons. And we've also upgraded the defenses on Sakhalin, which is, really important for us. The Marshall Islands, Cameroon, Bismarck Archipelago, Southwest Africa, those are to be fortified later on. And last but not least, we're gonna fortify Germany, Eastern Germany, and East Prussia. And Officer Corps. We've had a slight increase in both officer numbers and quality. Kind of surprising, but you can see it here. We still have 2 incompetent officers, but the below average officers, there's slightly less of them. We have more average and more above average officers, though the amount of unknowns is still extremely high. It's 54 officers, so I'm hoping that this is gonna change as we're gonna go ahead and see what the future brings. But we also have way more officers than ships, so again, the unknowns don't have that much of a chance to show off. And that's the end of the report for January 1919. So I'll see you in the game, where we are going to build on this knowledge that we have just shared. Okay, here we are in the game, and I actually just realized what an insult to us it is that they actually still hold Norway. Damn. This is gonna irk me for a while. Either way, first things first, let's look at the ships in service, and I want to see how we're doing. We still have a lot of ships in active duty, but they're moving, so we have to wait for them. A lot of ships are in reserve, some are in mothballs, so there really isn't much that we can do with them at this point, though. Yeah, it's mostly the battle cruisers and the heavy cruisers and light cruisers that are coming, so that's why we're paying that much for them. Plus, there is still a lot of repair. I actually didn't realize that, but we're repairing Frankfurt, Ludwig, and München, and then the V8 and Berlin as well, so that will get significantly cheaper once they're done. Okay, well, either way, that's what it is. Here we have the K1, K2, K3, Hertha, Valkyrie, and Freya being constructed, which also isn't something that we can deal with right now. Coastal fortifications. Okay, so first things first, you guys need to repair. And once you do, that actually removes the negative for us, and we will start seeing a pretty decent positive. Okay, how much do you guys cost when we resume? Okay, just to give me a little bit of a context. Cool, so I guess what I'm gonna do here, and I actually already did it. Okay, so we have high intel on Russia. Interesting, I didn't realize that I did that, but okay. Turns out my plans aren't changing that much. And research, anti-aircraft artillery is gonna be set to high. Shipboarding, okay, let's put you guys on a medium and medium. Now, how are we doing on aircraft? Are we waiting for something? No, we aren't. So we got 2 fighters, 2 float point scouts, 2 naval patrol aircraft, max speed cruise, firepower. Okay, I'm gonna obsolete the Henschel. And a torpedo bomber here, and you guys, well, let's request a proposal for a new aircraft. It's gonna be a fighter, and we're gonna obsolete the ones that we have right now. So let's have it for firepower and toughness, and see what they can come up with. Okay, cool. So now let's end the turn and see what we'll have. Research breakthrough, light forces and torpedo warfare. Superimposed B-mount on light cruiser. Enable superimposed B-gun mounts on light cruiser. Okay, well, it's fine. A new Japanese torpedo bomber called Yokosuka Shoki is entering service. It is rumored to have better range than our torpedo bombers. Okay. Our new naval patrol aircraft Arado AR-117 is ready for operational service. Okay, well, not much has happened this month. But let us check the naval patrol aircraft 89. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good aircraft. And let me see what we have in our air groups. We do have torpedo bombers and fighters on the Allied carrier. Yeah, naval and change aircraft type to the Arado. And I guess we can do it manual like this. They would change it, in my opinion, automatically, but I still, right now, because we're at peace, like to have them change it immediately. Okay, so we changed it all, and we are actually looking at a little bit of a surplus. So you are now repairing, and all of you guys actually came back to service. Okay, so we wanted to upgrade you guys, but for now we're gonna put you into reserve. No, actually, let's put you into mothballs. You guys can be put into mothballs. And the rest that came can be put into reserve. And you guys, Zebra, Tupix, Tupi, well, you were supposed to come back home, so come to the Baltic. And stay there. We're gonna put you into reserve. We can keep you over there, I don't really mind. Okay, so that actually means that we now have a pretty decent income. So I will resume the construction of Valkyrie. Wait, no, not that. Resume construction, which takes away most of our money. But once you guys are finished repairing, we're gonna get a little bit of a decent boost in there. And Hertha is going to be finished, then we can resume the second one. So that sounds pretty good, like a plan. You have more than half of your free tonnage move bolt. Okay, so not good. So who can we put into reserve? I guess the Deutsche Kaisers can be put into reserve. Would that work? Nope, it's still not enough. Okay, so who else? Stralsund. Okay, so you guys can be put to reserve. Still not enough. Okay. I guess we really have a lot of them. Because these are that was exactly the point. I was trying to make them mothball because they are so expensive. Okay, now it works. So we finished a construction of 10-inch coastal battery in Tanganyika. The Socialist Party is doing well in opinion polls and might want to press for reduced armament expenditure after the upcoming elections. What do you do? Suppress all socialist propaganda in the navy. Meet with their leaders and talk about the importance of a strong navy. Do nothing. Let's meet with them. We can sacrifice a little bit of a prestige. Coastal mastering, improved power training and elevation, and research breakthrough ship designs, advanced design calculations, so 1% weight saving. And we are almost done with a heavy anti-air machine gun. A new Spanish torpedo bomber called Construcciones Aeronautica Casa 9 is entering service. Okay. I wanted to quickly look at... Oh god, I just forgot what I want. Oh yeah, the coastal battery. So, coastal batteries. Let's look at locations. So, Bismarck Archipelago has one, and you have one 8-inch gun. You have two 8-inch guns in Eritrea. Marshall Island has an 8-inch coastal battery. So, I think we might want to build a coastal banner in Marshall Islands. So let's build another one, another 8-inch one. 600 monthly cost, that's pretty good. We need to keep upgrading our defenses. We have been really lax with that in the past, and I don't want that to continue. So status. You guys are coming, right? Come on, move to the Baltic. You are in the Baltic. Let's put you to reserve. It's gonna save us a little bit. You are in Northeast Asia, Northern Europe, Berlin and Ibex. Okay, let's put you into reserve. Anyone else? West Africa? No. Okay. So we have 1,200 per month. That is good. It's still not enough to resume the construction of Freya, but it will be soon once we finish the rebuild of Hertha. So good for us. Let's end the turn. Research breakthrough. Turret and gun mountings. Improved power training and elevation. Eliminates rate of fire penalty for guns below 8 inches in turrets. Okay. And research breakthrough. Armor piercing projectile. Stable explosive filler. Enhances damage from penetration hits. That's also pretty good. And we are close to the shell dice. And we got anti-aircraft artillery, heavy anti-air machine gun. Enables light anti-air weaponry. A new Austrian torpedo bomber called Aviatik 17 is entering service. It's rumored to have a better range than our torpedo bombers. Okay, unrest is reduced as military expenditures are at a reasonable level. Russia is refitting. We have someone of average ability, some promotions. Tensions go down and up over the world. Okay, and we have a little bit more money now. But still nowhere near ready for the... Actually, could I? If I resume it now... Yeah, I can fund it. And once you guys are finished... Okay, that's good. We're gonna save a little bit of turns. Okay. So considering we're pretty much pressed on money, I don't see much chance to do here anything. Actually, I'm gonna put you to reserve. Once you guys come, it's gonna be also a reserve. You are also supposed to come to the Baltic. Where are you? Insubordination. You're gonna be shot. Okay, let's end the turn. Private shipbuilding is expanding. Max dock size increased by 500 tons. Our top spy has managed to get hold of the blueprints for the Italian battlecruiser Attila Regola, currently under construction. 8 12-inch guns. It's 27,300 tons, 28 knots. That is a dangerous ship. Very dangerous one. The guns aren't great, but it has a decent deck and belt and turrets and batteries. It's using only the director though. Okay. Synthetic fire control computer, but there has been little progress so far. Shell dice. It's complicated. A new Japanese torpedo bomber called Yokosuka Toryu is entering service. The Blomvos company has developed an improved model of the floatplane Scout Blomvos BV-114. Okay, max speed, cruise speed. Okay, range is significantly increased. More firepower. Okay, I like it. A new French fighter called Breguet 47 is entering service. Private shipbuilding. It is building airbase. Unexplained delays. Yeah, fine. It's nothing that we can not handle. Okay, Blomvos float point scout. Yeah, you are just so much better now. Then there is no reason to use the old one, so it's obsoleted. And we're just gonna be using the float point scout. Cool, you guys got us interested. So again, let's end the turn. Not much we can do here. Herta has finished reconstruction, which is great. The government is concerned about tensions leading to war. You have been called to give advice. What tensions? You recommend. If you want peace, arm for war. We should safeguard our interests by negotiating an agreement with. Huh. Let's try Japan, if it works. Fail to produce results. Okay, well, it is what it is. I miss you, Japan. You were a good ally. Our scientists report that they are working on the problem of improved double gun mounts, but success has eluded them so far. New fighter prototypes. Okay, so we have 2 types in service, and we want to get rid of them both. So whatever model we choose needs to be better than both of them. So right off the bat, all of them have better. Okay, you don't have a better toughness, but you guys do. Maneuverability is so much better, and so is firepower. Range and speed is better. Yeah, I say we go with the Heinkel hat 123. It would be 123. 123, yeah. That one just seems best. It has the highest speed, cruise speed, range, firepower. Yeah, this is definitely the best one. Okay, so we're gonna retire the other fighters once it comes into service. Intelligence support. Okay, battleship Inflexible is on the rebuild. Indefatigable is on the rebuild. We have Grand Admiral promoted. Some retiring people. New fighter prototypes. Okay, well, still pretty good. Pretty good. So considering we have the prototypes now, can we actually request a new model? Because you will replace these. Yeah, the torpedo bomber. We could request a proposal for a torpedo bomber. So the torpedo bomber should have a bomb load and I guess toughness would make sense. Let's try it. Okay, we're in a little bit of a deficit, but it's fine. Who is in active service? You guys can all be put to reserve, which fixes our issue and actually gives us a little bit of an income, which means that I can actually look at the submarines, because we do have some fairly old ones with very low reliability. So let's just build 2 coastal submarines with reliability 79%. And we're gonna name them U-21 and U-21. Oh, my bad. Hold on. And U-26 all the way to U-26. So U-27. U-27 and U-28. And to make sure that they are not U-12 and U-13, we're gonna scrap them. Okay, so that actually fixed our problem with the deficit, and the 2 new submarines are gonna come into service. We can start building 2 more. Our top spy has managed to get hold of the blueprints for the British ship battle cruiser Illustrious, currently under construction. 10 12-inch guns, 16 6-inch guns, 4 torpedo tubes, The armor is just god-awful, though, so we are okay. Research breakthrough, anti-aircraft artillery. HA rangefinder improves HAA effectiveness. Okay. A new French torpedo bomber called Breguet 49 is entering service. It has better range than our torpedo bombers. Okay, we have some people moving around. Fighter squadrons easily equipped. It's pretty good. Okay. So, I like the fact that we are within our means right now and we're doing good on all fronts. We're building 5 new ships. We are building 2 new submarines. We're upgrading our coastal fortifications. Actually, let me see. Are we... No, we're not doing anything. Okay, good. I was afraid that we are wasting on training, but we're not. Okay, let's end the turn. The Japanese government is interested in buying the rights to subdivision and damage control. Triple bottom. By all means. A new Russian torpedo bomber called Tupolev 28 is entering service. Has better range than our torpedo bomber. British gun manufacturers are now advertising 18-inch guns. And Lexington is being refitted. Really not much we can do here with the limited budget. Everything seems to be set at this point, so let's just continue burning the time. Hertha has finished her working up. France and Great Britain have signed an alliance. The Russian government is interested in buying the rights to ship design advanced design calculations. Nope. Russia is building an airbase in Helsingfors and in Kronstadt. Okay, so if Hertha is active, so let's put it. Let's actually mothball it if we can get away with that. And I'm thinking we might want to upgrade the airfields and airship fields in the Baltic, if it makes sense. Okay, let's end the turn. Battlecruiser Berlin has collided with a new ocean liner and will be in dock yard for some months. It seems the accident was caused by an ill-judged maneuver by Captain Zurza Bertelsmann, below average poor ship handler. Everyone knows merchant captains can tell Storm from port side. We will support our man. Well, a court of inquiry for Captain Zurza Bertelsmann seems to be in order. Yes, definitely. He's poor ship handler and below average, so good riddance. Yeah, really? I'm not doing that great, all things considered, when it comes to doing a lot. There's just not much happening. The roaring 20s will be on us very soon, so I'm interested in seeing how it's gonna affect us. Oh my god, you're gonna really be in dockyard for 3 more months. I think we're not gonna build many more ships, we're gonna build more destroyers definitely, but once Valkyria and Freya is done, I might build a 3rd one, but then the 2,600 is gonna be reserved for upgrades, because we need to start, renovating some of our older ships. So let's end the turn. We finished construction of an 8-inch coastal battery in the Marshall Islands. New torpedo bomber prototypes are ready for evaluation. So we have the Junkers U-113, Junkers U-128, has a better speed, cruise speed, better range, same firepower, more maneuverability, more toughness, and it can carry a heavier bomb load. Why are you... But the Heinkel is better. It has way higher toughness. Like, seriously way higher. 8 compared to 5. Otherwise it's almost completely this. No, actually it's even better. So yeah, let's take you as the design. Our new fighter Heinkel He 123 is ready for operational service. Okay. Someone is improving their fighters. Okay, so let's look at the aircraft types. And when it comes to fighters, we now have 3 types. And I'm going to obsolete you guys and just have the other one be our dominant one. We want to have one type of aircraft for everything if possible, because it makes it much easier to operate. So with you being done, can we request anything else? Torpedo bombers. I'm gonna really, well, I don't think there's any reason to right now, honestly. Full plane scout. I mean, there definitely is no reason to not to, but let's wait for another year. Okay, ending the turn. The Russian government is interested in buying the rights to anti-submarine warfare. Improved depth charges. No. Our chief scientist says they are searching for a solution to advance penetrator alloys, but frankly, this is complicated stuff. No kidding. Changes in command structure, tensions, change between Austria-Hungary and Italy, and that's that. Oh well. We're really living in an unprecedented peace right now. Okay, so let's order another coastal fortification now that we have a little bit more time and money on our hands. Bismarck Archipelago could get another 8-inch gun, so let's do that. Yep, we can fund that easily. Okay, well, and this is the last turn. So very peaceful indeed. Our ship battlecruiser, Valkyrie is commissioned into the Navy. I thought it wouldn't be yet, but okay. We are asking in an interview which nation you see as the most likely enemy in the future. It is without a doubt Russia. And research breakthrough anti-aircraft artillery, 20mm automatic cannon, improves light anti-aircraft effectiveness. The Arado company has developed an improved model of the naval patrol aircraft Arado AR-117. Same max speed, same cruise speed, same range. It can have higher bomb load carried. Well, that's... Well, I mean, it's a naval patrol aircraft, so they would definitely use that. Okay, some changes in tensions. But with the Valkyrie commissioned into the Navy, we actually now have a ton of money. And we had a pretty decent budget upgrade. So I say we look at a potential refit for our ships. The ones that are actually very much in need of that are the Königs von Preußen. So let's look what we could do with them and how expensive it would be. So your machinery is already failing. So okay, if we do a big one and replace machinery, how fast could you go? 24? Oh, oil fuel is now universally available. Wow, that makes a huge difference. 25 knots, okay. So let's go 25 knots. We can increase elevation. We can give you improved director for secondaries. Nothing here, but we can actually look at the AA guns. Okay, so we just have the light AA guns available. So let's add 6. It's actually 12. Is that okay? Yeah, oh, okay. And we have a huge amount of free weight available. What could we do with it? I could add more secondaries. What can I do with the rebuild? Could we change you guys to 10-inch or smaller? But I mean, it's not necessary, so instead, could we maybe add more secondaries? You can install additional secondary guns of 6 inches caliber, but only in single mounts. Aren't you? No, because they're casemated. Okay, so no luck over there. Could I improve the secondaries or tertiary guns? Topside equipment limit exceeded. I'm having a hard time figuring out what we can do with you, because you still have so much weight remaining. I can't make you faster. Well, you know what? We're not gonna do this, because we are going to give them a catapult once we have the ability. Because right now we don't have. But we have enough weight on these that we could actually do it. So if we can get a catapult here, that would be good. And that actually makes sense. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna save the money. And we'll see what we can do with that. Okay, well, on that note, thank you very much for joining me. And I'll see you in the next episode, where we are going to continue this peaceful life. I mean, the only tensions we have is literally with Russia. Anything else? Nothing interesting on the map. Cool. So yeah, see you next time.